All right, so this is Jason. You know that. But I'm waiting for Tyrese to get here. We're going to do Quarantine Chronicles. We'll be doing this every day. If you haven't tuned in, you should tune in every day, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Now, I've never interviewed Tyrese. This is my first time actually having a conversation with him. He's messaging me now. Let me tell him that I'm on live. 1 second. So as soon as I see Tyrese here, I will add him in. But yeah, we do this because people are at home. We're trying to encourage people to stay home. And you have to, I'm hoping you're at home watching this. But yeah, we want to encourage people to stay home and also just to be able to allow people to have a front row to a conversation they probably would never see. All right. Waiting on Tyrese. So Tyrese, when you get here, put a message in there, a request to go live, and I will add you. All right, 1 second.
What you got me doing, man?
No trouble. I mean, first of all, us together anyway is trouble, but I'm trying to do the Lord's work, so.
Trying to do the Lord. All right. All right. We'll run with
That. I've said this on my show before. I said, I've been around you several times. The last time I saw, but see, I'm real stealth. Like, you don't really see me. Last time I saw you was at Puff's house after the Grammys. You were outside, wow. I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In a real expensive car.
Yeah, I ended up sitting on the couch with Jay and Beyonce. That was a life-changing night. Thank you, Diddy.
Yeah, I couldn't get in the house, so I left. But, shout out to you and everybody who got to sit on the couch.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. Relationships are everything, man. It's so crazy because I give analogies all the time about it's not what you're capable of, it's about who you know. And when you go to these clubs in LA and Miami or New York, especially New York, they treacherous for leaving niggas outside. And if you got a relationship with the dude at the door, man, that's how you get in. That's life right there in itself. So not only did I get in, but they let me pull my car in. And I ended up on the couch with Jay and Beyonce. And I was nervous as hell, man, because people would never know how starstruck I am, even though I've been doing this shit for a long time. And I've been knowing Beyonce for over 20 years, but I'm just so starstruck over them as a duo. My wife is the biggest Beyonce fan, and I'm the biggest Jay-Z fan. So I get around them niggas, and I just be uncomfortable as hell.
Are they the only people, though? Because you're a big star, too, both in movies, music.
About a lot of different people, man, but again, I'm just starstruck in general, but Jay and Beyonce is another level. Like, I be seeing Usher and like Trey Songz, and they be all like hanging out with them like we homies, and I be like, damn, I wouldn't even know what the fuck to talk to Jay-Z about. I'd just be like, bah, 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 bah.
But talking about leaving people outside of parties, I've been to your house a couple times. You've had some parties. People get left the fuck outside, and I've been left outside once or twice, but I've been allowed in too. You know what I mean? But you leave people outside.
I don't leave people outside. People just can't get in. I just want to make sure I clarify that because I don't want no problems. People just can't get in. It ain't. People just can't get in. You know, I tell people, man, I don't do parties that often. Like, you know, in LA, we got Jamie Foxx who started it.
Yeah.
Because Diddy was the king of parties, but he's from New York. So he's finally moved to LA and he's been killing it. And Diddy probably has.
Remember the white party he did back in 2007? You were there. You were on stage singing Lindsay Lohan, Chris Brown. Remember the white party he had at Prince's house?
I do remember that.
That party was
legendary. But see, that's what I'm saying. Diddy is the king of parties because he went from New York to the Hamptons. Then he does his shit overseas with the yachts. He's the king. And his net worth is scary because he could just wake up on a Monday and say, nigga, this is what we doing today. And his shit is always star-studded. Jamie jumped on that train after, and his shit be crazy. But then he was teetering the fence of like star-studded, and then he went into his kind of Hugh Hefner level where it became about video vixens and porn stars and all kind of wild shit going on. And then mine is just about nightclubs and Benihanas and.
That's what I was about to say. I said your house is like, this is how I've tried to describe it. You were like, you must have grew up poor and said, I want all these things, and then got rich and got them all and put them in your house. Because you could get Starbucks while you wait for your Benihana. You can swim, then you can go into the club.
You can swim. You can get a haircut.
You get a haircut.
Eating hands done. Yeah.
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 But is that what inspired you to put it all in? Is just that you wanted to create a world like in your house, in your backyard, your house, you wanted to create your world that you enjoyed, like everything that you enjoy?
To be honest with you, man, it all started from a complaint, right? The complaint was, you know, we all know our share of celebrities, but the complaint was like, yo, man, every time we go anywhere, there's paparazzi, there's TMZ, there's cameras. And then the first thing I did 6 years ago is I put the Benihanas in the yard. And I named it Gibson. And then it just kind of, and then the whole nightclub thing happened because my party started to get so crazy. And when you had that many people, you obviously have to have music. So my neighbors were complaining about how loud the music was. So then I built the nightclub. I'm sitting there now, and the walls is like this thick. They're soundproof. So it became one thing after the other, man. So I don't know. I didn't really have this plan. I would love to sit in and say, you know, I'm a visionary. I have talent, and I planned this all the whole time. But that was not the case. Just kind of one thing after the next, and then I just created this happy place of escapism. And I wanted to do everything but carnival rides like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I remember one time I was in the club. I can't remember who I was with. You had all the food laid out, and you walked by me. I don't know if you remember this, but I don't even know if you knew who I was at the time, or maybe somebody had said something, but you looked at me like, I better not see this shit online tomorrow. And I was looking at you like, just don't kick me out. I have no plan to write about nothing. You know, because I do respect private time and private situations. Right. You know, like there are boundaries.
I've had Raquel at one of my parties from TMZ. I had what's old boy who just left TMZ, the black dude.
Van Lathan.
Yeah, I had him here. So I think y'all know kind of the boundaries, and that's why y'all know as many people as y'all know. Y'all see some shit. If it ends up on your timeline, you won't get invited no more.
Right.
It kind of happens, but no.
And I tell people all the time too, like, we don't even have to be there. Everybody nowadays is a TMZ. I don't understand. Like, it's a culture now where everybody wants to pull out their phone anytime they think they see something.
Yeah, but you know, to be honest with you, man, and again, when I'm making reference to the difference in what Hugh Hefner or Jamie or Diddy has done, I don't mean no disrespect about anybody and what level they take it to. But I don't really do anything here for niggas to report.
Right, right. Yeah,
You know,
you really don't.
like you fucking see somebody getting head in the corner or see somebody having sex in a back room. You walk in like, oh my bad. Like it just doesn't happen that way. And I think for all of the women in LA, you know, whether I'm married or not, they just feel like, yo, when it comes to Tyrese shit, that's why we go crazy. Like it goes so crazy so fast. I can't send out invites to my parties 3-4 days in advance anymore.
Right.
Like I gotta do it the day of.
Especially when you team up with Snoop. I mean, everybody knows. I get the text alerts. Okay, Tyrese and Snoop. Hey, Floyd, you going to Tyrese's party with Snoop? I mean, it's, you know, but those parties are, they do get out pretty fast because people do enjoy themselves. And it's always clean, safe fun. You know what I mean? Nobody's never reckless.
It's classy, it's sophisticated. Nobody feels endangered. You know, nobody feels like, you know, they're gonna get sexually harassed. You know, we try and keep it clean. But anyway, man, how you holding up, bro?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just trying to. We started Quarantine Chronicles because we started this whole movement of just encouraging people to stay at home. I'm like, yo, I feel like the kid at class who's being punished for the people who don't want to pay attention. You know, like this, it keeps getting extended because people just haven't understand the importance of social distancing. So that's how it started, and then now it's just like, you know, I get to talk to people that I like or that I respect. So I'm like, yo, let me reach out to a few people. And we've never interviewed you. You've never been on our show.
No, I didn't even know y'all was doing interviews, but you definitely stole my title. We'll talk about that later, because
Wait, which one? Which one?
No, man, I had this idea about Quarantine Chronicles, and then you emailed me with the Quarantine Chronicles. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Did you really though?
No, I really did. I swear on my life. But it wasn't interviews.
Okay.
I got like 6 people here: the nanny, the staff, the housekeeper, and all of us got big personalities. And I was like, yo, it'd be a crazy ass reality TV show, which I wouldn't be willing to do because the camera dudes would have to come and go, which puts your health at risk. But I was like, yo, it'd be crazy if we had some shit called Quarantine Chronicles. Not only is that the same name of your shit, but you got designs and logos. You went far. So I was like,
Hey,
well, there goes that idea.
the minute you said yes, I said, hey, get that shit right now before he changes his mind.
I'm like, yeah, that's it. I'm like, yeah, you all the way committed to the title. I love it.
But wait, so you had been posting a lot of information that a lot of people aren't posting, like some of, I don't want to say the conspiracy theory stuff, but some of the alternative news that people are really dialed into that's not making it to mainstream TV and news outlets. We've been posting it, the 5G networks, the military rolling through the city. Why do you think they're not even talking about that? Do you think that something else is going on besides some virus that they say comes from a bat?
Well, here's the thing. I try my best, like you, to find the balance between information, and I'm not the conspiracy theorist dude that get caught up in the government is behind the blah blah blah. And you know, I try my best to just stay. What do you call it? I speak lamer's term. What is the saying?
I think I think that's it. Just to not to get too newsy, but to just, you know, I like layman's terms.
Stay relatable.
Relatable, yeah.
Man would be able to say, I can wrap my head around that. Yeah, so I never made the connection to 5G and coronavirus, but I did make the connection when these videos are out and you see these 5G towers, and you see 5G towers that are near trees. Half of the tree is dead, the other tree is still blooming because it's spring, and everything that was dead during the fall and winter is now blossoming again. So how do you explain a 5G tower, half of the trees are dead, then other video clips show over 100 birds that flew over the 5G towers, and there's 100-some birds that are dead.
Right.
Saying to me that the fucking birds got poisoned before they flew in this area and then they just all died?
Right.
How do you explain it other than the 5G towers? And then I went even further and I said, hold on, let's go back to the basics. we've all went and got x-rays done. And when you get x-rays done, they tell you to put that shit on top of your head
to protect from radiation.
To minimize the radiation that's going to get pumped off onto you, or whatever the language is, when you get an x-ray. They cover your growing area so that it doesn't compromise your fertility. But yet we don't have, they're giving us masks and they're giving us gloves, but they're not saying wear this because there's a fucking 5G tower that just got put up in your neighborhood.
Right.
So radiation is radiation. They also had something, and you can all look this up. In LA, there was a 5G tower that was put up, and 7 kids from this school with a 5G tower got cancer. 5 kids got cancer. 7 kids ended up with cancer. So how do you explain this? And so in my mind, I'm just like, they're not talking about this on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, but there's something going on that we need to pay a little more attention to. And I'm not connecting 5G and radiation to the coronavirus. That's for other people to do. But I'm saying there's something going on there.
And the fact that they're not even talking about it, like they're not even talking about it, you know?
And that's the part to me that just makes me say, okay, well, I got my timeline. I got my God-given access to, social media is you have emotional access to people. It's like a song. I was talking to Mary J. Blige about this when she was working on her last album in my backyard, which I'm proud to say. I gave her the title of her album, Strength of a Woman. And she started her whole album in my backyard. And I was just saying, like, Mary J. Blige, you represent the strength of a woman. Women who don't go to therapy, women who are mentally, emotionally, and physically being abused in relationships. When you release albums, you're in their most vulnerable spaces. And women have left their abusive husbands and relationships because of your songs. Jill Scott, Anita Baker, we can go on and on about women who are all about empowerment and giving people permission to want and desire better for themselves from the messaging that's put in the music. Well, I look at social media the same way. And I'm like, all right, well, I got all these followers. I don't have the most followers, but I got a lot of followers. I got 30 million on Facebook. I got what I have on Instagram. And I'm like, okay, well, what is the point in having this many followers if you're not put motivational and inspirational things on their mind, or just get them to say, I didn't know that. I didn't think about that. And just have people to simply walk outside of their house or near their office and say, holy shit. Until Tyrese put it up on Instagram, I never noticed a fucking 5G tower right here by my office. And the wild thing is in LA, these motherfuckers just went even further and they got full-on 5G towers and they're turning the shits into palm trees. Mm-hmm. They got them covered up. They got them covered up to look like palm trees.
Right.
They're trying to like minimize the amount of people that notice them right off the freeway. They off the 405 freeway, big, huge joints, covered up to look like palm trees.
And see, what I don't think people realize is back in the day, the way they kept slaves under control is they didn't educate them. They didn't allow them to get information. They kept them dormant by not empowering them to learn.
That's right.
And I don't think we're too far away from those days. So I see Coca-Cola behind you. Two Tyrese facts. One, I sing all your shit in karaoke. I'm not as good. I try. My friends make fun of me, but whatever. And two, the song Shame that you did with Jennifer Hudson, I just recently met her in Chicago at the All-Star game and told her that's one of my favorite. It's actually in my playlist I play all the time.
Wow.
And I kind of feel like R&B music has changed tremendously since people like you have put out music. Usher, what do you think? What do you think about the status of R&B right now?
Well, to be honest with you, man, I used to be able to say that R&B is in the back seat. I used to be able to say that they've made R&B a black thing. It was very controversial. My wife was nervous about me doing this with you today because she's like,
Why?
say, don't, because I'm too real to fake it, bro.
Hey, listen,
And,
I want you on our show so bad. Hi, wife. I know she's somewhere near saying, please don't say shit. Go get a drink. Go get some tea. We'll be fine. No, I think that yeah. I don't want to.
Going back to what you were saying, yeah. I think I'm really proud of Swiss Beats and Timbaland. We got a text chain going with us three on it. And, I know about all the battles and verses to come. I can't share, but I definitely know about all of them. It's like they got some real magical shit lined up. I can't wait for them to transition into hip hop. I've been telling them I want to hear Jadakiss and Cassidy go at it. I've been putting in my request about the verses that they lining up because, I'm just excited about what they're doing with and for the culture. And more importantly, I just love that they're putting R&B back on the front, back on the main stage. We all know that hip hop is a global phenomenon. R&B soul music has not traveled as far as hip hop has traveled. And I'm not jealous of it, but I'm an R&B head through and through. And, we just don't have the main stage. And right now, the conversation about R&B is changing. I'm proud of Usher. I'm proud of just everybody that's in the game. Her.
Love her.
Yeah, she's amazing. I know her as Gabby Wilson because we go way back. But yeah, I love her. I love Jeff Robinson, who manages her, discovered her, Alicia Keys, you name it. I'm just proud of what folks are doing. But in my mind, man, and this goes back to the controversy that I had a couple years back. See, when white.
Wait, before you say it, I was going to say, I've recently been saying, I'm going to just say this. People don't care about R&B music anymore unless white people are singing it.
All right. So now you didn't took the words up. So.
That's what because the Sam Smith, right? You ain't Tyrese. You ain't, I mean, no disrespect to Sam Smith because I got his shit, but I ain't singing it at karaoke. I had JoJo on yesterday. I was talking to her about, her, she's a great vocalist too. But R&B, but nobody made me feel like watching Mary J. Blige in the 97, 96, 97, 98. Your music that's still timeless. I'm like, well, why don't we get the same? No, not even the same. Why don't we get more appreciation for a genre of music that we started?
No, let's go even further. I want to, because I'm an R&B head. I'm going to make all kind of connections for you right now and really have you, who know a lot, to be like, oh, shit, I didn't think about it that way. Back in the day, when R&B soul music first came on the scene, even before the Motown era, when you had a big song, it was played on all formats of radio. It was a huge song. There would have been no such thing as Motown if all of the artists signed to Berry Gordy didn't have an opportunity to have a huge song that was played on all formats of radio.
So rhythmic, urban, and top 40, just radio.
Top 40, whatever. If it was a huge song, if it was heard it through the grapevine, everybody heard it through the grapevine. All across the board. So then all of a sudden, they start putting black people in categories. Urban AC. So when white people sing R&B music, Adele, Robin Thicke, Sam Smith, it's played on all formats of radio. Off top, Sam Smith had a song called Stay. I had a song called Stay. My song was very successful. It was actually the first #1 song of my career. It was #1 for 11 weeks. #1 for 11 weeks, only on urban radio. Sam Smith had a song called Stay that had a full choir. Why don't you stay with me? If I had sung that version of Stay, my shit would have been stuck on gospel radio.
What facts?
My shit would have been stuck on gospel radio and wouldn't have even made it to urban AC. White man singing R&B soul music gets played on mainstream radio. It's not only R&B soul, but it's also R&B soul and gospel because of the choir in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Every station out there is playing it. And he's this phenomenon. I don't have a hating bone in my body. But Sam Smith is not the problem. He just got in the studio and sung his song. But why does mainstream radio decide to play R&B soul music on all formats to give?
But why is there a mainstream and urban radio? Because you know what's crazy?
Back in the day, there was no such thing as breaking it up. A hit song was a hit song. That's the whole point. So Sam Smith, who did not sing his song for white people or black people, he sung his song to be heard and embraced by everyone. But he had an opportunity for his song to be heard and embraced by everybody because everybody played his music. Has nothing to do with it being a hit or not a hit. It was the opportunity that he was given versus if a black man or black woman had sung that exact song, it would have been limited and cut off at urban radio.
Mm-hmm.
Adele does the same thing. Ariana Grande, same thing. Soon as they sing it, everybody in the world has an opportunity to embrace and love the song or decide, oh my God, I love this song. What is the album? And they get the body out. I don't sing for black people. I don't do movies for black people. I do movies for everybody. I sing songs and I do music for everybody. I didn't go to the studio and say, man, black people are going to eat this up.
Right.
I want everybody to love my song. I want everybody to hear Sweet Lady and Lately and How You Gonna Act Like That. And Shame. Shame was #1 for 16 weeks.
Shame was fire. And you put that out on your own, right?
Independent. It was #1 for 16 weeks.
Yeah.
So how is it this successful on urban radio and never had a chance to go anywhere else? So that was very controversial. I ended up boycotting in front of iHeartRadio, and it became like this big old thing. But in my mind, my song had already become very successful, and then it started fading away. And then I decided, you know what, let me speak up and speak out on behalf of every other black artist to come, because most people will be at home talking about this, and they wouldn't be comfortable with speaking out. But I've always been very vocal about my shit. So I said, you know what, if I speak out, maybe I'll make a difference or get them to consider to stop putting us in categories.
Well, that's interesting because when our show got picked up by iHeart, the 52 markets across the country, we got all the urban markets, right? So they were like, when the first promos came out, it said Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee and all iHeart urban markets. And I got a phone call, won't say here who I got a phone call from, but I got a phone call from somebody at iHeart that said, don't allow your brand to be categorized or put in that box, because you talk to the Abby Lee Millers, you talk to people who are not just quote or whatever's considered urban. So I started really like looking at it, and it really at first in my mind I was like, yo, I got to just talk to these people. I'm like, I just like to talk to people, you know. And I feel like there's a common thread, especially music is something I feel like brings the world together. So I really have been confused at why it's been allowed to be that way for so long.
Well, you know, it's something that's been going on for a very long time, and the real politics gets into payola and dropping off a bag of money in order for you to get radio spins. That's the shit that nobody wants to talk about. Ooh, payola.
Do you ever get in trouble for saying shit? Because you do just say whatever you want.
I do. That's why I don't do interviews like this.
Okay, so I'm gonna age myself really quick. I'm 42. I
Yep.
remember being
I'm
at a
41.
you're a young 41. I definitely this shit got me feeling. I feel a little older now, but um, I remember going to a Gerald Levert concert. I have LSG on my iTunes. I
Yep.
have TGT. You've been in the news recently. You always in the news just for just saying stuff. Um, with all these battles going back and forth, is there going to be a Tank and Tyrese battle?
Not about to talk about Tank, are we?
I mean, most people probably wondering because I know that he had said you were running from him, which I don't know what that's about, but
I was running from him. Got you.
I mean, you don't look like you're running now, but do you think we'll see a Tyrese and Tank
Versus? No.
battle?
No. No. No, we're not. No, we don't. We're not.
Period.
No. That's it.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is, I've already posted about this, but me and Tank was actually going back and forth about doing a versus in the DMs. It's me and him. I got everything right there still in my phone. And then I woke up the next day to see that he went public with, the smoke. He's like, I want this Tyrese smoke. So instead of allowing the momentum and energy about him doing that to build up, I just went on my Instagram and I put the whole shit to rest by saying, here are all of your great records, and here are all my great records, and there is no battle here. You know what I mean? We're done with it right now. It's over. And honestly, when it comes to Tank, first of all, I love him. And I'm a big fan of Tank because I told you I'm pretty much starstruck for everybody. I think he's one of the most talented songwriter producers out there. Live,
He's amazing.
niggas can't touch Tank vocally. He's just a beast. And but I just I didn't want to put him in that predicament. You know what I mean? Where
what predicament?
His hit records in itself don't compare to the amount of hit records that I've had. And that's just the truth. And we're not talking about his charts versus my charts, what records were sold versus his record. We're talking about when we do concerts, pound for pound, I just got more records that mean more to more people. And I just said, let's just be done with this conversation. And I deaded it. And that was it. And so I said to Tank, even though he just got on, why don't you do what her and Tori Kelly just did? Get on live and y'all do some live singing while playing the guitar. But you do it with PJ Morton because both of y'all sing in falsetto. Both of y'all do all of these incredible.
But didn't you say runs. Like that's more your category or something like that? Like that's more your lane?
What?
Like just like didn't you say something like a PJ Morton, like somebody like he's not at the caliber to compete with you, basically?
No. I'm not talking about go rock with PJ Morton because you're not on my caliber. I'm saying okay. I think if he's gonna do a versus, it would be more incredible for him to be at the piano singing because they both sing in falsetto, they both do crazy ass runs. And they both are producers and songwriters.
Got it.
I'm not even comparing hits because I think Tank has more hits than PJ Morton.
They just have more compatibility in terms of the style of music.
Compatibility to get on there and go at it. And I think that shit would be dope. Like, there's nobody I can think of that wouldn't tune in to him and PJ Morton sitting at the piano, singing in falsetto, doing dope ass runs, and just doing songs back and forth. And that's what I was talking about. Then I woke up to him posting that he wants some smoke. And then it just got all funky and stupid. And then I just said, man, we done with this shit.
But do you think that all stems from like the past stuff with TGT or, I mean?
Of course, man. There's always going to be reoccurring issues between me, him, and Genuine, man. I'll break this shit down without going into detail. It's very simple. When you got 3 alpha males that have been solo their whole career, and you tell these motherfuckers to get in one box and see who's going to take the lead on making decisions around business, around album, around song directions, around production, about the clothes we should be wearing, what should we doing, and how we should be going about business. We all got three different perspectives on what
what that looks like.
low vibrations are, respect, disrespect, approach, energy, category. You know, we got three different things, and we've all been successful. I think Genuine is the most successful of us three with the most hits, but we got three different opinions about what to do and how to do it. And I've been doing my own shit my whole life. Tank has and G has. We're all successful in our own right. Try and put us in one room to get on the same page about a decision. Most of our decisions are going to be coming from a solo artist perspective.
Or a solo brand perspective, right? Just like a brand, right? Like I've been telling Joe Budden and Charlemagne, the three of us need to do something. Joe says, you're too messy and it's going to be too expensive. I know I'm going to get the least amount of money because, I mean, I'm the new guy. You know, it is what it is. I don't give a fuck because at the end of the day, I'm going to get on that motherfucker and I'm going to be me. And then somebody going to be like, yo, I need that. And then the price will go up. So for me,
I don't know if you're as messy as Charlemagne.
Oh, no, he's messy as fuck. And then I'm openly gay. He kind of acting gay. He need to decide what the fuck he want to do.
Acting gay. Yo, you funny.
But what I don't understand is why do you become the bad guy because you advocate for your bag as a participant in a three-party situation? Like I guess I've been perplexed at that.
Well, no, well, okay. So now I see what you're very. I went to media training, nigga. You slick. You real slick. Well, I'll address that issue because I definitely became the monster or the bad guy. It's very simple. I get between $150,000 to $120,000 a show, 45 minutes to an hour on stage. That is my number. That's my rate. And I'll tell you why I get that rate. It's not that I'm the most relevant hot nigga in these because I'm not. I don't release songs and albums that often. But because I'm always on movie set, I have not diluted or oversaturated the market. When you're just an artist, and I respect artists, they're always on the road. They have to constantly go into the same cities every other month. And so they lose their value because they're in these markets, running the market, running them up, doing their thing. And that's for all artists, not Genuine and Tank only. So when I finally show up, the nigga that they never see, I get paid more. And it's more excitement. I'm the guy, I'm the unicorn of the three. Because if I didn't have movies, I would be on the road as often as they are because you don't want to buy a house and lose your house. So that's the number. So when we got into this back and forth, I don't want to put it out there how much they get paid per show compared to me. But when we started doing the numbers, I was like, of course y'all want to go with a three-way split because I make the most of the three. And if we split it three ways, then I'm going to be bringing their day-to-day fee per show up to you know, where I'm at. Mm-hmm. And so it became an argument. And again, you want to put egos and alphas and create issues, then there you have it. Put some money on the table. When everybody's got kids, everybody's got family. And I just was like, yo, I'm just so fucking exhausted. Now, here's the thing. I got to be very honest and tell you, I've never had more fun. I've never enjoyed the process of making an album as I did with TGT. I've never done interviews and been on tour and hit the road and had more fun. I've never laughed so much in my life. And it was like an abusive relationship. Like, I'm enjoying this shit, but
it hurts.
Comes all the fucking wars,
right?
And the drama and the issues and the egos and the alpha. It was crazy, bro. It was like, you know, the moment you start laughing and enjoying yourself, you forget about the way you actually feel about all this other shit that's going on. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, man.
You guys think you'll come back together though, at least for one more album?
we signed a 2-album deal with Mike Kaiser at Atlantic Records. And we've only done 1 album. We literally have millions of dollars waiting on us at Atlantic Records right now. And I just don't see it happening at this point. I think if it happens, it would be a miracle, and we would all decide, let's put all this bullshit to the side, which is going to be pretty hard to do because, again, we just all have 3 different approaches to business, man. You know, I have really, in my opinion, no disrespect to them, but I have very aggressive business people. I'm a very aggressive businessman. I'm very detailed. I'm very hands-on. I'm very involved. Everything from the fonts to the logos to the photography to the set location to the video treatments to the editing to the you know, sonically and musically what this all sounds like. I'm just very fucking involved. And you know, if people are not as detailed and as hands-on as you are, or even if they are, and there's a difference in opinion, then, you know, shit can get aggressive.
Well, speaking of the people that you have doing your business, I remember going to the set of Living.
Hold on one second. I'm getting a drink. Go ahead.
Yeah. I remember going to the set of Living Single back in the 90s when your Coca-Cola commercial came out, and building the relationship with Latifah, and then years later launching my brand and getting advice from her. I remember her saying, you know, really focus on building your core audience with our people, and then take them on your journey as your career evolves. You started out I mean, even in film with Baby Boy and other, you know, other projects that were maybe more urban, and then have been able to transition and still do those projects and Transformers, Fast and Furious. My favorite, Four Brothers. Was that strategic, or was that just how did you do that? Because I don't think people understand when we talked about categories earlier. It's not easy to be like you or Latifah, to start somewhere and then be so mainstream, you know?
Yeah. Tupac was on his way. Will Smith did it first. Actually, even further back, Harry Belafonte started off as a singer and transitioned into acting. You know, it's a blueprint. But as Snoop said, you can't make stars.
Facts.
You either a star or you're not. I was just looking at that clip last night. And you can dress them up, you can fix their hair, put eyelashes on them, and put them in the studio with this producer, that producer, and shoot this video. But either people have it or they don't have it. I just think, you know, we're marked. Stars are marked. And when you have it, you have it. And you know, my thing is this, bro, honestly, if someone had told me after that Coke commercial, it was 20 years ago, that I would still be here, I would have laughed. I mean, I wanted to get this girl's phone number who lived up the street, and I wanted to know what it was like to have over $100 in my hand at one time. I didn't have no visions, no plans beyond that. It was the first audition, first thing I ever did. I know there's Coca-Cola in my background, but you know, it's no one could ever tell me that I would be here. And it's no longer a dream if you're physically inside the dream.
Right.
So I think so many people are caught up in the disbelief phase.
Disbelief that it can happen?
Yeah, no, it's people are so humble they'll disappear. So you gotta say, wow, I'm grateful, gratitude, I appreciate it. Oh my God, I'm in disbelief. And then you got to get out of the disbelief phase and then say, okay, I'm here now. What the fuck am I going to do with it? Facts. And you gotta get out of the whole winging it. And I'm so grateful and so humbled. Oh my God, I just met. Okay, I hear all that. Take a picture of it, take a selfie, shut the fuck up. It's time to sit down, really start thinking through your ideas, your vision, what look good on you, what songs are for you, which movies make sense for you, and really start being intentional about protecting your shit. And, you know, the days of just I'm in disbelief and let's just see what happens. No, man, God gave us free will. God gave us free will. Stop sitting around winging it and just, bullshit. I literally don't go to parties and events at this point without understanding and knowing who's all going to be there. And I have premeditated conversations in my head before I get to the person. They think I'm just impulsively talking shit. I already knew what I was going to say before I said it. I already knew what I was going to pitch you on before the pitch happens. I already knew. I got my shit thought out, mapped out. I'm a Capricorn. I'm about as calculated as it gets. And for the things that just happen, which is serendipity, which is God's favor, which just happens in the moment, that's when it happens. But for the most part, I'm not, it's disrespectful at this point to me to just say I've been in this game for 20 years because I'm talented.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many motherfuckers in music got PhDs, graduated in music, who don't even have a record deal?
Facts.
Okay, so I don't know what your story is and how you started, but you're on FaceTime.
I used to be
IG Live right now.
I used to be in my mind, just like you said, and it was Floyd, and I just put in my book, it was Mayweather who said, that's all. I used to get excited when people would acknowledge, something I did or a talent and wanted to work with me. And he said, the bad guy always wins. Be a fucking savage. You can still be humble and respect people and like people, but be a savage about what you do and what your intentions are, and be very intentional. I'm very intentional too. Even in conversations, relationships, I posted on Facebook yesterday, I'm thankful that I have a job where I get to talk to people that I want to talk to. I don't have to, nobody says you got to interview this person or talk, I own my own brand or whatever. But no, I mean, I respect it.
I disagree with the bad guy winning.
Why so?
Well, I disagree with it because, and I'm not talking about Floyd specifically, but I disagree with bad people winning. I think
not bad people.
I think the one thing about me, I'm just getting some more water, sorry.
Sure.
I think the one thing about me is proudly I'm able to say I've never, this is my saying. I know you're a part of the gay community, proudly, but I want to give you my quote.
Okay.
I have never been evil. I have never stabbed anybody in the back. I have never been mean or condescending or fucked up towards anybody to climb my way up to the top. And people have to understand the difference between honesty and being evil. You can be portrayed as a bad guy because you're honest. Because right now, fake people that are actors, that are double and triple bipolar personality type of people, where they give you all this fake love, and then when they walk away, they like get on their secret earpiece and go kill him, take him out. I've made him feel comfortable with telling me all of his plans. Let's figure out a way to fuck his shit up.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I've never allowed my spirituality or sexuality to be compromised in order for me to feel like I got to be a part of Illuminati or Scientology or any community on any level in order for me to be successful. Because when you're not from LA, in your mind, you got to be a part of a clique, a cult, a camp, an entourage, or something in order for you to get on. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I take 5-hour energy drinks when I'm super low on energy. And if I can't sleep at night because I'm a night owl, I might take a half an Ambien. There's no Molly. There's no ecstasy. There is no, I don't go to no parties where there's all kind of extracurricular activity. I don't even get those invites because niggas know that you can't put this type of shit in front of me and me say, oh, wow, in order for me to be more successful, I got to compromise myself and be a part of something. So, I tell people, do what makes you happy. But for you to be bamboozled or manipulated or think or believe that you must become something or be a part of something in order to be successful, then I think you're drinking the wrong Kool-Aid.
No, I agree.
And even further, I could honestly say to you that my career may have been even further than what it is if I was willing to partake in certain things that I know is going on out here.
Mm-hmm.
I stand on the grounds of saying it's really hard to influence me when I'm not under the influence. My mind is clear. I know I had my psych med episode with my crying video, but my mind is clear.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God for the visions, the ideas, the instincts, the intuition, the discernment. And literally, I know niggas that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I know billionaires. If I ain't doing nothing with you and we ain't got no visions and plans and goals, I have no reason to be around you, bruh. Like, I ain't got no reason to be at your house, on your private plane, or your yacht. All this shit is fly and it's nice. But what's the plan?
Well, that's because
I'm
you
not
got
here
so
to
many.
freak
That's
up.
because you got so many friends in the Middle East who got real money that it's comical.
Yeah, but that's in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And I stopped myself from going to the Middle East because I was working on a couple plans, and you'll have people giving you all this energy. They like, oh, come enjoy my port, my plane, my this, my that. And I'm like, man, all this shit is nice, bro. But if I'm coming to Dubai or Abu Dhabi and my net worth is the same as it was before I got here, ain't nobody jumping on 19-hour flights to enjoy somebody else's life.
Fact.
It's your shit. This ain't mine.
Fact.
I'm doing all right. I may not have as much as you, but I'm not a groupie. I'm not a gopher. I'm not a yes man. I'm not here to jump on the bandwagon of what somebody else got going. The question is, how do your multi-billion-dollar status become my multi-billion-dollar status? Because we're actually exchanging visions, projects, and ideas.
But that goes back to where you have to make sure the relationships you have, there's a mutual benefit, right? Like, I feel like there's a lot of soulless people that come to LA.
My wife comments. She says facts.
Yeah.
My groovy Bubby, I love
Hey,
you.
Tamar.
I love you,
But I do
groovy
feel like I
Bubby.
want to go back to the bad guy thing. I think what he was saying was the bad guy and being honest, not the bad person, not being a bad person. Like, I don't believe that bad people do win. I don't believe in bad people winning, but I do believe that sometimes you get labeled when you are honest. You know, if I interviewed Dame Dash the other day, I can't wait till that interview comes out because he was honest as fuck. You know, but some people may say he's, you know, angry, or he's the bad guy, or he's whatever. They may label him that because, you know, he's honest.
Yeah, but again, it's approach. See, there's two things, and my wife talked to me about this all the time. I'm trying to find the balance between serving up, because see, fake shit has never changed me. Fake people that are not honest and in your face, real and raw, like right there, just say it. Don't talk about me, talk to me. Because if I piss you off, if I say something stupid, if I'm disrespectful, if I make you uncomfortable, if I'm unprofessional and you're talking about me, I don't have a bad heart. So if I say something or do something that pisses you off, I just need you to make me aware of it, because I'll be like, oh shit, I had no idea that saying this or doing this made you feel a way. And if you're a bad person, then someone will make you aware of that, and then you decide to do it anyway. Which is the difference. And I think for me, man, black people, we give up on each other fast. We're not honest to each other. And my wife has talked to me about being so raw, so honest, so in your face. And she says that you get more bees with honey. She said, it's not about you telling the truth, but it's about how you tell the truth that allows people to be more receptive to you telling the truth.
But also, I think black people are late to invest in other black people until white people want to. I mean, I've had black producers call me and, oh, I want to do a show with you. Ask me all the questions, look at all my materials, I don't give them what I do and how I do it specifically, but then go out and try to create a watered down version of what I do. And I feel like the investment goes both ways. I mean, part of the conversation again with Dash is the dinosaurs that hold the keys. You know, like we are the culture. We could really control the whole world if we really could figure out how to get on the same page. But I just don't. I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
Well, the thing is, I think this coronavirus should remind the world that if we have a problem with something, all we have to do is not show up, and everything shuts down.
Facts.
So look at the economy. Look at the amount of people that are at home, and look at how much shit is filing for bankruptcy or going belly up. Us as a black culture, if we were to truly unite, not, yo, it's fucked up to see what they are dealing with. Motherfucker, if you're black, I don't give a fuck how light-skinned you are with baby hairs or how dark you are with African BBs in your head. If you are black, if something is being said or done that's directly affecting us, if we actually stick together, then we can get shit done. And I know that sounds like a speech, but these are factual facts.
Mm-hmm.
And so the crab in the barrel mind state is no, fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Nigga,
exactly what it is.
I feel you, but when it comes down to it, black people don't want to help each other. The reason we don't help each other is because I don't want to see you doing better than me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mentality. The egos. Who's going to run it? Who's going to control it? Who's going to be the boss? Who's going to be the captain?
Who's going to get the most?
Who's going to get the most? I was already getting the most.
Question. I saw you did a song with Leandria Johnson. I know you did the performance. Would you ever do a gospel album?
No.
No?
I don't think so. I don't know if I'd ever do a gospel album. I mean, I've done songs, but I just curse too much. My struggle is too real for me to fully commit myself to that. And I think, you know, I won't say who, because I don't want to be part of nobody's blogs, but I never forget that they say when the world turns their back on you, meaning black people, all you got to do is talk about Jesus and you'll get whatever you want. They'll go from turning their back on you to rocking with you again. You just got to heavily talk about Jesus, and black people love some Jesus, and they'll all come back.
That wasn't Kelly Price, was it?
No.
Kanye?
No.
All right, listen.
But
this thing
definitely adapted that formula for sure.
Hey, listen. The music is good. I mean, the music is good.
Hey, man, listen. However way you go about putting Jesus on the main stage, go for it. But me personally, nothing about Kanye, and I'm not trying to be politically correct, because I would definitely tell people how I felt about Kanye if I had feelings about Kanye. But I just think ultimately we all get to a place where we embrace our spirituality at whatever level we embrace it on, and just continue to put God on the main stage, and that's it. But if you're using God as a form of manipulation, God knows your heart. I don't care what kind of power and influence you have. If nobody's fucking with you and you're at the bottom of the bottom, career-wise, reputation-wise, and you decide to use Jesus or God as a form of manipulation to get people to rock with you again, God's going to deal with you. And that's for everybody.
Facts. They keep asking this question. I wasn't going to ask, but you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But is Fast and Furious 9 coming out this year?
It's not. It got pushed back. It was already announced.
Yeah.
I've already had 2 movies to get pushed back. I did a Marvel Comics movie called Morbius opposite Jared Leto, got pushed to next year. The trailer is out. Y'all should check it out. And Fast 9 got pushed to next year. It was already announced.
Are you making music while you're there? And if you were to do a live battle, who would be in the category with you?
I don't really know if I'm doing a live battle, man. I just don't know. I have not even wrapped it ain't got nothing to do with me thinking I'm bigger or better. I mean, Usher's got more hits than me, so I don't want no smoke with that guy. Genuine's got more hits as far as TGT, so I don't want no smoke with that guy. We got Joe. I'm doing an album with Joe, but I think Joe's got more hits than me, I would say. I mean, he's got records with fucking Big Punisher. You know,
Joe got more hits than you? Really?
I think so. I don't want to be a player no more. I mean, Joe's got smoke. But I'm doing an album with Joe, so I'm in the safe zone.
That's gonna be fire. Listen, this is about to click us out, and I'm saving this fire ass conversation, but I'm gonna send you information on our radio show. I would love anytime you want to come by. We here in LA. Melissa Ford me damage. So
yeah, well, if y'all make it to the end of this video, just stay encouraged, stay home. And I'm actually about to post a video today to give people a whole lot of details about how far we have went to stay corona free in the Gibson house. So if y'all want to tune in, make sure y'all do. Follow me on Instagram.
everybody already follows you. You have over 12 million followers. Everybody follows you.
Well, I don't have everybody that follow you don't follow me. So,
They do, because they always send us shit. Look what Tyrese said. Look what Tyrese just posted. Look what Tyrese is talking about.
so you got snitches out here. All right.
Oh, I love them. Keep on snitching, people.
I
The
ain't got
culture
nothing
needs
for
you. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir, man. Bless, man. Good luck out there, bro. Stay safe, man.
Thank you. Same to you. All right, bye-bye.